What's up, guys? Big Natty back with another video. The Celtics continue to struggle. They played yesterday against the Toronto Raptors, and the Raptors blew them out 118-95. Kyrie Irving in particular struggled with only 7 points. There was a clip that showed both Tatum and Kyrie sitting on the bench in the midst of the blowout, and they looked like they were pretty much tired of the inconsistencies, and honestly, just wanted the season to end. And I think that's what they're waiting for. I think they're ready to get to the playoffs and prove themselves, because the talk all year, and the talk has obviously got into them, that they've been disappointing, haven't played up to expectations, and it's not like they've played terrible, because they've beaten some good teams, but they also lose to bad teams, and it's just a situation where I think Marcus Smart said, and I think he was right, he said, they don't pretty much play together, they don't like playing together, and you get that vibe when you look at the body language, when you look at the way the guys interact with each other. It doesn't seem like they're together or a team at all. And I think one of the issues started with last season, with Kyrie Irving being out, and Jason Tatum getting more minutes, Jaylen Brown getting more minutes, Terry Rozier coming in that starting role, Gordon Hayward obviously with the injury. What that created is these guys basically had to fill in and produce in order to win games, and that's exactly what they did, and they won their way all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals, and I would say within a quarter of making it to the NBA Finals. And so when you do that, to the next season, you ask Jaylen Brown to go back to the bench for Gordon Hayward, who obviously should have not started at the beginning of the year, should have worked his way back into game shape coming off the bench. But I know that, and I mentioned this in another video, I know that him and the coach Bryce Stevens from Butler, so probably playing favorites there. But Jaylen Brown hasn't had the best year, and I think his confidence may have took a downturn. And then Jason Tatum, obviously he doesn't get the ball how he got it last year. I just think everybody's in it for different reasons. Terry Rozier, he's playing to get a contract, obviously, so there's pressure for that. He wants to get paid. Jason Tatum, he's in his second year. He's trying to prove himself that he can take that leap. Jaylen Brown, still trying to prove himself. But all of these guys' minutes or roles have been changed this year. And so last year they were all playing for each other, and now they're not. And I think they just don't like playing with each other. They just don't enjoy playing with each other. I think the next move for them is to try to finish out this season. They pretty much had the 5th seed locked up unless they lose like 10 games in a row, and that being the 5th seed. I still think they're a very talented team. No, I still believe that the Bucks and the 76ers are the 2 best teams in the East. Have no faith in the Raptors, as I've said before. So for me, the Celtics are the 3rd best team, but they're going to have to do something. And as much praise as Brad Stevens has got when Isaiah Thomas was there, and they overachieved a couple of years ago, I mean, he deserves the same amount of blame for this as anybody else on the team, because he hasn't been able to make the adjustments. He hasn't been able to find a consistent rotation. He hasn't been able to make the pieces fit and the guys to buy in. And adjustments and guys buying in is on the coach and on the leader of the team, which is Kyrie, to buy in. Those things are on those 2 guys. I think it may look like Brad Stevens a little bit over his head. I mean, I don't think he quite knows what to do. and that's okay. He's not gonna have to answer to everything. But at the same time, if I were the Celtics, they blew that opportunity to trade deadline. I probably would have, knowing the dysfunction in the team, I would have probably tried to move a couple of those guys to get Anthony Davis. But they stayed pat. They stayed with the roster. They obviously believe in the roster. And on paper, they shouldn't have a reason not to believe in the roster. It just hasn't panned out in reality as well as they thought it would. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. It looks like Kyrie's on his way out. I don't think Kyrie's returned at all. Now, his destination teams, I don't know. I'll get into that later. Maybe a later video, but I think Kyrie is gone. And it's unfortunate because before the season started, it looked like he wanted to stay, but it looks like he's ready to move on. So that's pretty much it for this video. Tell me what you guys think below. Like, comment, subscribe. Big Netty, I'm out.